Welcome to Concept with Justin. In today's episode, we'll be delving into the world of front yard landscaping, focusing on beautiful designs and garden ideas that can dramatically enhance the curb appeal of your home. When approaching front yard landscaping, it's essential to start with a comprehensive plan. This plan should take into account the architectural style of your home, the existing features of your property, including topography and mature trees, and any local regulations or homeowners association guidelines. It should also consider your lifestyle needs and preferences. The foundation of any good front yard landscape design is the hardscaping. This includes elements like the driveway, walkways, retaining walls, and any decorative structures. These structural elements provide the framework for your garden and create defined spaces within the landscape. When designing hardscaping, consider using materials that complement your home's exterior. Natural stone, brick, and concrete pavers can create a timeless look, while more modern materials can offer a contemporary feel. The driveway is often a dominant feature in front yard landscapes, especially in suburban settings. Instead of treating it as a purely functional element, consider ways to integrate it into your overall design. Permeable paving materials can reduce water runoff and add visual interest. Bordering the driveway with plants or decorative edging can soften its appearance and tie it into the rest of the landscape. Walkways are crucial in front yard design, guiding visitors to your front door and creating a sense of journey. They can be straight and formal, or curved and meandering, depending on the overall style of your landscape. Consider using materials that contrast with surrounding plant beds to create visual interest. For example, a flagstone path winding through lush green lawns can be visually striking. Creating a focal point in your front yard landscape can draw the eye and add visual interest. This could be an ornamental tree, a water feature, or a piece of garden art. The focal point should be proportionate to the size of your yard and complemented by surrounding plants. In larger front yards, you might have multiple focal points to create interest throughout the space. Trees are often the backbone of front yard landscapes. They provide shade, privacy, and a sense of permanence to your outdoor space. When selecting trees for your front yard, consider their mature size, growth rate, and any potential issues like invasive roots or messy fruit. Foundation plantings are a key element in front yard landscaping. These are the plants that surround the base of your home, softening the transition between the building and the landscape. When designing foundation plantings, consider the architectural style of your home. Layering is an important principle in front yard landscape design. Start with taller plants near the house, medium-height plants in the middle, and shorter plants in the foreground. This tiered approach ensures that all plants are visible and creates a lush, full appearance. Don't forget to consider the mature size of plants when planning your layout to avoid overcrowding. Color is a powerful tool in landscape design. In the front yard, it can be used to create a welcoming atmosphere and complement your home's exterior. Consider using a color scheme that coordinates with your home's paint colors and architectural style. Remember that color in the landscape isn't just about flowers. Foliage, bark, and even hardscaping materials contribute to the overall color palette. Texture is another important consideration in front yard landscape design. Combining plants with different leaf shapes and sizes adds visual interest and depth to your garden. Mix plants with large, bold leaves like hostas with those that have fine, delicate foliage like ferns. Include plants with different growth habits, such as upright, mounding, and trailing forms, to create a dynamic and layered look. When selecting plants for your front yard landscape, it's important to consider their environmental needs. Group plants with similar water, light, and soil requirements together to ensure they thrive. Native plants are often an excellent choice as they are adapted to local conditions and require less maintenance. They also provide essential habitat and food sources for local wildlife. Seasonal interest is crucial in front yard landscape design. Your garden should offer something of beauty in every season. This might include spring flowering bulbs, summer perennials, fall foliage color, and winter interest from evergreens, bark texture, or architectural plant forms. Incorporating elements of your region's natural landscape into your front yard design can create a sense of place and harmony with the surrounding environment. For coastal properties, this might mean using native grasses and salt-tolerant plants. In desert regions, xeriscaping with succulents and drought-tolerant plants can create a beautiful, low-water landscape. Well-placed lighting can highlight key features of your landscape at night, improve safety along pathways, and create a welcoming atmosphere. Consider using a mix of ambient, task, and accent lighting to create a layered lighting scheme. Water features can add a dynamic element to your front yard landscape. Options range from elaborate fountains to simple bird baths. When incorporating water features in the front yard, ensure they are in proportion to your overall landscape and consider the maintenance requirements. Incorporating art into your front yard landscape can add personality and create unexpected moments of delight. This could be in the form of sculptures, decorative gates, or even creatively repurposed objects. Choose pieces that complement your overall design theme and can withstand outdoor conditions. For those with limited front yard space, vertical gardening techniques can maximize the potential of your landscape. Green walls, hanging baskets, and tiered planters can transform small areas into lush green oases. These techniques are particularly useful for urban gardens or small front yards. Edible landscaping is a growing trend that can be incorporated into front yard designs. Many fruit trees, berry bushes, and herbs have attractive foliage or flowers that can complement ornamental plants. An edible landscape in the front yard can provide fresh produce while still maintaining aesthetic appeal. Sustainable landscaping practices are becoming increasingly important in front yard design. Consider incorporating rain gardens to manage stormwater runoff, using permeable paving materials to reduce water pollution, and choosing native plants that require less water and maintenance. Composting and using organic gardening methods can also contribute to a more sustainable landscape. When designing your front yard landscape, consider how it will evolve over time. Plants will grow and mature, potentially changing the dynamics of your design. Plan for this growth by giving plants enough space and considering how their changing forms will affect the overall composition of your garden. Don't overlook the importance of negative space in your front yard landscape design. Areas of open lawn or paved surfaces provide a visual rest and can make your plantings stand out more dramatically. These open spaces also provide functional areas for activities and can contribute to a sense of spaciousness. Creating a harmonious transition between your home's interior and the front yard landscape is crucial for a cohesive design. Consider using similar color palettes or materials to create a seamless flow from inside to outside. Large windows or a welcoming front porch can help to blur the lines between indoor and outdoor spaces. Maintenance considerations should be factored into your front yard landscape design from the beginning. While a beautifully designed landscape can be a joy, it's important to be realistic about the time and resources you can dedicate to its upkeep. Choose plants that suit your lifestyle and consider incorporating low-maintenance design elements like mulched beds or hardscaping. Water conservation is an important consideration in modern front yard landscape design. Consider using drought-tolerant plants, efficient irrigation systems, and rainwater harvesting techniques. Grouping plants with similar water needs together can help to conserve water and ensure that all plants receive appropriate care. Creating microclimates within your front yard landscape can allow you to grow a wider variety of plants. Use walls, fences, or dense plantings to create sheltered areas that might support more tender plants. South-facing walls can create warm microclimates, perfect for heat-loving plants, while shaded areas can support woodland plants that might struggle in full sun. Don't forget to consider the view from inside your home when designing your front yard landscape. Position key plantings and features where they can be easily seen from windows, creating beautiful vistas that can be enjoyed even when you're indoors. This can help to blur the lines between indoor and outdoor spaces and make your front yard feel like an extension of your living area. When designing your front yard landscape, don't forget to consider the practical aspects of outdoor living. This might include storage solutions for garden tools, a small seating area for enjoying morning coffee, or a place to display house numbers or a mailbox. A well-designed front yard should be both beautiful and functional. Repetition is a key principle in landscape design that can create a sense of unity and cohesion in your front yard. This could be repeating certain plants throughout the landscape, using a consistent color palette, or echoing hardscaping materials. Repetition helps to tie different areas of your landscape together and create a harmonious overall design. While it's important to create a cohesive design, don't be afraid to include elements of surprise in your front yard landscape. This could be an unexpected pop of color, an unusual plant specimen, or a whimsical piece of garden art. These surprises can create memorable moments and add personality to your garden. The entrance to your home deserves special attention in your front yard landscape design. Create a welcoming approach with a clearly defined path leading to your front door. Consider framing the entrance with plants or architectural elements like an arbor or pergola. This not only guides visitors, but also creates a sense of arrival and importance. For sloped front yards, terracing can be an effective way to create usable space and add visual interest. Retaining walls can be both functional and decorative, providing opportunities for plantings and creating distinct areas within the landscape. Consider using materials that complement your home's architecture and the overall style of your landscape. Don't underestimate the impact of a well-maintained lawn in your front yard landscape. Whether you opt for a traditional grass lawn or a more eco-friendly alternative, like clover or native ground covers, a neat and tidy ground plane can provide a perfect backdrop for your plantings and hardscaping elements. Consider the scale and proportion of elements in your front yard landscape design. The size of plants, hardscaping elements, and decorative features should be in proportion to your home and the overall size of your front yard. Incorporating a variety of plant types can add depth and interest to your front yard landscape. Mix trees, shrubs, perennials, and annuals to create a layered look. This not only provides visual interest, but also ensures that there's always something blooming or providing color throughout the seasons. Don't forget about the impact of fragrance in your front yard landscape. Strategically placed fragrant plants near walkways or seating areas can create a multi-sensory experience for you and your visitors. Consider plants like lavender, jasmine, or fragrant roses to add another dimension to your landscape design. The choice of colors within the landscape can evoke different emotions and responses. Warm colors such as reds and yellows can create a sense of vibrancy and energy, while cool colors like blues and greens can evoke calmness. Thoughtful color combinations can create a harmonious blend that resonates with the natural surroundings. Seasonal changes should also be considered in the landscape design. Choosing plants that bloom at different times of the year ensures that the front yard remains visually appealing throughout the seasons. Evergreens can provide structure and greenery in winter, while flowering plants can add bursts of color in spring and summer. Maintenance is a crucial aspect of any landscape design. Selecting low-maintenance plants and materials can save time and effort while ensuring the yard remains beautiful. As the front yard design nears completion, it's essential to step back and evaluate the overall composition. Does the space feel inviting? Are the elements harmonious? Taking a moment to reflect can provide clarity and ensure that the final result aligns with the original vision. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of front yard landscape design. If you've enjoyed this exploration and are hungry for more landscaping inspiration, please consider subscribing to Concept with Justin. By clicking the subscribe button and turning on notifications, you'll stay updated with our latest videos on landscape design, plant care tips, and outdoor living ideas. Until next time, happy landscaping! Welcome to Concept with Justin. Today, we'll explore the intricacies of optimizing your outdoor space to achieve a perfect balance of beauty and functionality. Creating a harmonious garden landscape begins with a clear vision and a deep understanding of the space at hand. Every garden tells a story, and the key to a successful design lies in crafting a narrative that resonates with both the environment and the homeowner's desires. This process starts with careful observation and analysis of the existing landscape, including factors such as soil quality, sunlight exposure, and natural topography. The foundation of any well-designed garden is a thoughtful layout that guides the eye and invites exploration. Consider the flow of movement through the space, creating paths that meander through various garden rooms or areas of interest. These pathways can be formal or informal, depending on the overall style of the landscape. Formal gardens might feature straight, symmetrical paths, while more naturalistic designs could incorporate winding trails that mimic the organic curves found in nature. Focal points play a crucial role in garden design, serving as anchors that draw attention and create visual interest. These can be architectural elements like sculptures, water features, or even specimen plants with striking forms or foliage. Strategically placing these focal points throughout the garden creates a sense of rhythm and encourages visitors to pause and appreciate different vistas as they move through the space. The selection of plants is paramount in creating a harmonious garden landscape. Consider not only the aesthetic appeal of each plant, but also its growth habits, maintenance requirements, and compatibility with the local climate. A well-designed plant palette should offer year-round interest, with a mix of evergreen and deciduous species that provide changing colors and textures throughout the seasons. Layering is a key principle in creating depth and visual interest in the garden. Start with a backdrop of taller trees and shrubs, then add medium-height plants, and finally, incorporate ground covers and low-growing specimens. This tiered approach not only creates a sense of lushness, but also mimics natural plant communities, contributing to a more cohesive and sustainable landscape. Color plays a vital role in setting the mood and atmosphere of a garden. Cool colors like blues and purples can create a sense of calm and tranquility, while warm hues such as reds and oranges add energy and vibrancy. Consider creating color schemes that complement the architecture of your home and reflect your personal preferences. Remember that color isn't limited to flowers alone. Foliage, bark, and even hardscaping materials contribute to the overall color palette of your garden. Texture is another crucial element in garden design that is often overlooked. Combining plants with different leaf shapes, sizes, and textures adds depth and interest to the landscape. Contrast fine, feathery foliage with broad, bold leaves, or pair smooth, glossy surfaces with rough, tactile textures. This interplay of textures creates a rich tapestry that engages the senses and adds complexity to the garden composition. Water features can greatly enhance the ambience of a garden, adding both visual and auditory appeal. The sound of trickling water creates a sense of tranquility and can help mask unwanted noise from nearby streets or neighbors. Consider incorporating elements such as fountains, ponds, or even small streams that meander through the landscape. These features not only add beauty, but also attract wildlife, further enriching the garden ecosystem. Hardscaping elements play a crucial role in defining spaces and adding structure to the garden. Patios, decks, and seating areas provide functional spaces for outdoor living and entertaining. When designing these areas, consider using materials that complement both the architecture of your home and the natural elements in your garden. Natural stone, wood, and permeable pavers are excellent choices that blend seamlessly with the landscape while offering durability and aesthetic appeal. Vertical gardening techniques can maximize space and add visual interest, especially in smaller gardens or urban settings. Incorporate trellises, arbors, and pergolas to support climbing plants, creating living walls that add height and drama to the landscape. Green walls and vertical planters offer innovative solutions for bringing lush greenery to areas with limited ground space. Incorporating edible plants into the ornamental landscape is a growing trend that combines beauty with functionality. Fruit trees, berry bushes, and herb gardens can be seamlessly integrated into the overall design, providing fresh produce while contributing to the aesthetic appeal of the garden. Consider espalier fruit trees along walls or fences, or use attractive vegetables as ornamental elements in mixed borders. Sustainable gardening practices are essential for creating a harmonious landscape that thrives in the long term. Implement water-wise techniques such as rainwater harvesting, drip irrigation, and the use of drought-tolerant plants to conserve resources. Embrace organic gardening methods to promote soil health and support beneficial insects and wildlife. Composting garden waste not only reduces landfill contributions, but also provides nutrient-rich soil amendments for your plants. Native plants play a crucial role in creating sustainable and low-maintenance landscapes. These species are adapted to local climate conditions and typically require less water, fertilizer, and pest control than non-native alternatives. The concept of garden rooms can be further enhanced by creating microclimates within the landscape. Use plantings and structures to create areas with varying levels of sun exposure, wind protection, and moisture retention. These diverse environments allow for a wider range of plant species to thrive and create interesting contrasts as you move through the garden. Seasonal interest is key to maintaining a beautiful garden year-round. Plan your plant selections to ensure there's always something of interest, whether it's spring blooms, summer foliage, fall color, or winter structure. Incorporate plants with attractive bark, berries, or seed heads that provide visual appeal even in the dormant season. This thoughtful approach ensures your garden remains engaging and dynamic throughout the year. Privacy is often a concern in garden design, especially in urban or suburban settings. Create natural screens using carefully placed trees, shrubs, or bamboo plantings. These living barriers not only provide seclusion, but also contribute to the overall lushness of the garden. For immediate privacy, consider incorporating structures such as decorative screens, pergolas with climbing plants, or even strategically placed large containers with tall plants. Water management is a critical aspect of sustainable garden design. Implement strategies to capture and utilize rainwater, such as rain gardens, bioswales, or permeable paving. These features not only help manage stormwater runoff, but can also create interesting design elements within the landscape. Additionally, proper grading and drainage solutions ensure that water is directed away from structures and toward areas where it can be beneficial to plants. The concept of borrowed scenery, or shake in Japanese garden design, can be employed to make your garden feel larger and more connected to its surroundings. Frame views of distant landscapes, neighboring trees, or architectural features to incorporate them into your garden's composition. This technique blurs the boundaries of your property and creates a sense of expanded space and connection to the wider environment. Maintenance considerations should be factored into every aspect of garden design. While a well-designed landscape can be low maintenance, it's important to consider the long-term care requirements of plants and hardscaping elements. Group plants with similar water and care needs together to streamline maintenance tasks. The use of repetition and rhythm in garden design creates a sense of cohesion and flow throughout the space. Repeat certain plant species, colors, or shapes at regular intervals to guide the eye and create a harmonious composition. This doesn't mean creating a monotonous landscape. Rather, it's about finding a balance between unity and diversity that keeps the garden interesting while maintaining a cohesive overall design. Incorporating elements that appeal to all senses can transform a garden into an immersive experience. Beyond visual beauty, consider the scent of fragrant plants, the sound of rustling grasses or trickling water, the texture of different surfaces underfoot, and even the taste of edible plants. This multi-sensory approach creates a rich and engaging environment that deepens the connection between the garden and its visitors. Adaptive reuse of materials can add character and sustainability to your garden design. Repurpose old structures, salvaged architectural elements, or reclaimed materials to create unique features within the landscape. These elements not only add visual interest, but also tell a story and contribute to the overall narrative of your garden. integration of smart technology in garden design offers new possibilities for efficiency and convenience. Automated irrigation systems, weather-responsive controllers, and app-controlled lighting can optimize resource use and enhance the functionality of your outdoor space. When incorporating these technologies, ensure they are seamlessly integrated into the overall design to maintain the natural aesthetic of the garden. The use of proportion and scale is crucial in creating a balanced and harmonious garden design. Ensure that the size of plants, structures, and hardscaping elements are appropriate for the space and in relation to each other. A well-proportioned garden feels comfortable and inviting, with no single element overpowering the others. Flexibility in garden design allows for adaptation over time. As plants grow and mature, the landscape will evolve. Plan for this growth by allowing adequate space between plantings and considering the eventual size of trees and shrubs. Additionally, incorporate elements that can be easily modified or moved, such as container gardens or modular seating areas, to accommodate changing needs or preferences. The edges and transitions between different areas of the garden deserve special attention. Soften the boundaries between hardscaping and planted areas with ground covers or low-growing plants that spill over onto paths or patios. Create smooth transitions between different garden rooms or areas of the landscape to ensure a cohesive flow throughout the space. Consider the impact of your garden design on the wider environment. Choose sustainable materials, implement water-saving strategies, and create habitats that support local ecosystems. A well-designed garden can contribute positively to urban biodiversity, air quality, and stormwater management, making it not just a private oasis, but a beneficial part of the larger community. The art of creating beautiful garden landscapes is an ongoing process of observation, adaptation, and care. As the seasons change and plants mature, your garden will evolve, revealing new beauty and opportunities for enhancement. Embrace this journey of continuous refinement and discovery, allowing your garden to grow and change along with you. Color palettes significantly impact the mood and atmosphere. Monochromatic schemes, using varying shades of a single color, create a sense of serenity and sophistication. Conversely, vibrant complementary colors inject energy and excitement. Consider the existing architectural style of the home and surrounding landscape when choosing a color scheme, ensuring a harmonious integration. Texture adds another layer of complexity. Combine plants with contrasting leaf shapes, sizes, and textures. Feathery grasses alongside broad-leaved hostas, for example, to create visual richness and depth. The interplay of textures keeps the eye engaged, preventing monotony and ensuring a dynamic landscape. Seasonal interest is vital for a garden that remains captivating year-round. Incorporate plants with staggered bloom times, ensuring a continuous display of color from spring through autumn. Consider early blooming bulbs, followed by summer perennials, and late-season bloomers for extended visual appeal. Evergreens and plants with interesting winter bark add structure and interest during the colder months. Pathways are more than just routes, they are integral design elements. They guide the eye, dictate the flow of movement, and create a sense of discovery. Curved paths encourage exploration, while straight paths convey formality. Choose materials that complement the overall aesthetic, natural stone, gravel, or brick pavers, and ensure accessibility for maintenance. Incorporate elements of sensory gardening, engaging all 5 senses. Choose plants with interesting textures, fragrant blooms, vibrant colors, rustling leaves, and edible fruits or vegetables. This multi-sensory approach creates a richer and more immersive experience. Remember that garden design is an iterative process. Plants grow and change, and your preferences may evolve over time. Be prepared to adapt your design as needed, embracing the dynamic nature of the garden. Thank you for joining us on Concept with Justin. Happy gardening!